Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review. Latest transfer show. As usual, it is myself and Baz, and we've had some sort of little bits of kick-off this morning about certain players and coming on loan and going back in for certain players. And one thing is looking likely, Baz, is that we're not going to have any of these players in for Leeds.
I still disagree with that because the two medicals booked for Thursday.
Yeah,
so come on,
we don't. I know. But
you've just got to keep the faith. Got to keep the faith.
Well, I know, yes, and there's all the faith to keep in the world and stuff like that. CFC Florida, thanks for the $10 super chat straight off the bat, mate. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. If you do enjoy today's show, please do hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And also, you can join as a member if you hit the join button right next to the subscribe button. And you can also donate to the channel if you hit the super chat button, which is the $ right at the bottom of the live comments. Interesting comment from Luke straight off. Buyer beware. Every player that's Sevilla have sold for big money for the last 4 seasons, then have gone to the following club and done appallingly. Apparently, Diego Costa is a slightly better version of David Luiz, which is better than what we've got anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are forgetting what we're dealing with.
Yes, I know.
I mean, these players are going to big clubs playing in Champions League football and challenging for titles. We're second from bottom of the league, so whatever we get in is better than what we've got.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Who are we starting off with on the list today, Baz? Because I've got a list which I think is pretty much the same as yours.
It is, yeah. So obviously Jesse Lingard's been firing around again. It's a name that won't go away. We haven't really been heavily linked with him. But there is rumours that we're still trying a loan deal. But again, there's Martial and Henderson that we're also trying to loan from Man United, and you can only loan one of them. So which one is it going to be?
Well, I mean, there is the question. But for me, I think out of the 3 of them, I'd prefer Lingard every day of the week.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
I think Lingard is by far the better player, and we need somebody in that kind of position to create something. We need a creator, and we ain't got one at the minute. You know, we could call Shelby a creator, but is he getting the opportunity to create at the minute? No. Lingard would certainly bring us more space on the pitch for certainly Shelby, because they'd be very concerned about letting Lingard go free. So I think out of the 3 of them, you know, Martial doesn't inspire me.
No, he doesn't inspire me either. He's better than
Henderson,
what we've got,
yes.
but he doesn't inspire me.
Yeah, Henderson, yes, but maybe for the summer.
Yeah.
I don't think we particularly need Henderson right now. I'm happy with Dubravka. I think Dubravka can get through to the end of the season. He's got to improve. But he did improve against Watford. So I'm not really fussed about goalkeeper position. I don't know about you, but I think Lingard.
Yeah, I'm not fussed about the goal position because as long as we play the right tactics. If we try and ask Dubravka to play from the back, which we've seen he cannot do, the way he kicked the ball out for a corner to lead to the Man City first goal, the way he put us in trouble against Leicester, the way Nelly conceded a goal against Burnley, trying to play with his feet, he can't do it. But when you watch his performance against Man United, when he was told to get rid, we look far better. Yeah. So as long as we stick with the right tactics with Dubravka, yes, all day long, we don't need a goalkeeper. In the summer, if we want to go to a more passing and out from the back and we have more capable players to do that, then yeah, you've got to replace them. So Lingard is definitely the shining light out of that trio. And again, he scores goals, doesn't he? Which is what we were lacking.
Yeah. Interesting comment from 80's Game. He says, "Hi, Paul. Looks like our new owners have given up on our survival. Hearing it's very unlikely anyone else in before the Leeds game. Don't worry, though. We have Chris Wood for the championship next season."
I don't think they've given up. I mean, you've got no idea what's going on behind the scenes. We'll never know. We're all guessing. We get little bits of information about who we're interested in and who we're putting bids in for. So let's just see how it pans out.
Yeah.
We all said
a few little comments about that Alex has put there. FIFA 22 have added Trippier to Newcastle United's squad in the update, but have increased his height by 5 centimeters. So yeah, I don't
He's
quite
back home.
understand
He's
why they've
sucking
done
in that northern air, you see, and it's made him grow an extra 5 centimeters.
Yeah, all the northern toxics. Chris says, I really hope the Lingard deal comes off, as I think after Carlos' deal, it will be loan deals onwards.
I disagree with that. I still think there'll be 1 or 2 permanent signings as well.
Well, I mean, it's gone quiet on Aubameyang again.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Because I mean, I was sort of rejoicing from the hills last night that
we both were.
Just may be that Aubameyang was the next through the door, but or was one of the medicals on Thursday. Still might be, because I tell you something, when it goes quiet, it's not all good doom and gloom in the transfer world.
Exactly.
Let's just hope that they're trying to do something on the quiet, which will be nice.
Well, they might be throwing us a curveball with Lingard and actually talking to somebody else. We just don't know, do we? We just, rumours are rumours. That's what we're here for, to discuss them, debunk them, and give our little input from our Heinz and HP, aren't we?
Yeah. Listen, I think the Lingard deal I think that may happen. I really do. I think there's a lot of traction with that this morning, and if it's a loan deal, fair enough for me. And it could end up being a permanent deal if Lingard wants to be part of the, part of the process once we survive in the Premier League. But I think that one certainly has more traction than Martial or Henderson for me.
Yes.
So I'd be really, really happy if we brought Lingard in.
Yeah, I'd be over the moon. But we said before the window even opened and before the takeover happened, we looked at players that we realistically could sign, and Lingard was one of the top targets that we wanted to go for. So nothing's changed in my eyes when it comes to that. I know all these big names have been branded round and turned our heads a little bit, but we still need those proven Premier League goal scorers, proven Premier League players to fight us out of a battle, and Lingard could do that.
Where would he play? Where would Lingard play in our starting 11, do you think?
Depends on the tactics, I suppose, but I would play him as a number 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's his ideal position.
Yeah.
Which then means putting Maxi back out on the left-hand side, doesn't it?
Which is where he needs to be.
But he doesn't cross the ball.
Well, he's
got to learn. I mean,
of course he
has to learn. If he wants to stay in the team, then surely Maxi has to start learning to cross the ball. Yeah. It's part of a winger's job is to provide for your strikers.
He thinks he's playing for Man City, though, doesn't he? The way he likes to try and pass it around the box, and we don't have the talent to do that.
No. I mean, look, Lingard played in a number 10 position when he was at West Ham, and he thrived there. He absolutely thrived there. Turned West Ham's season around as well as his own. So, I truly believe that he could come in, play just off the striker, and we could be a very, very different team. Because he will create, he will score goals. I'm perfectly happy with Lingard if that is indeed who we're going to get from Manchester United.
Yeah, I would love it.
Moving on now to the Diego Carlos. What's the latest you've heard on him?
Still the same as what it was last night, that the bid will be accepted either today and these medical will be done tomorrow. That's what HP is saying. He's not bunking away from it. He's put his neck on the line, and he's basically said that it's going to be done. Sevilla had been backed into a corner, really, with a player wanting a transfer. Do they want to keep a player and reject the bids and keep someone who's unhappy and wants to leave? It never works well, does it? So I think it'll happen.
Well, the thing is as well about him, there's an interesting comment here from Chris. He says, Mark McAdam on Sky Sports News downing Carlos, saying that he's riddled with mistakes and is... Why does that keep going on mute?
I have no idea.
My wires are broken, I think. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
I can't hear you. Hang on a minute. Just fill them in about Diego Carlos while I sort this little medical problem out here.
Yeah, so Diego Carlos, yes, he is prone to a bit of a mistake, but let's face it, Sky Sports News, BT Sports, all that sort of stuff, all those pundits, they're not fans of Newcastle United, are they, really? They don't understand the predicament we're in. They just think, well, Carlos has made a few mistakes for Sevilla, but he's won competitions. He's played in Europe. He's playing in the Champions League. We've got Lascelles, Shaw, Dummett, Clark, all these centre backs that we're literally relying on to keep us up, and they're not good enough. We will go down if we don't buy a centre back. And Carlos is a man mountain. He's 28. He's mature. He'll give us a good 4 or 5 years of his best years now because he's coming into his peak, and he will literally, potentially keep us up because of that. Lascelles might become a different player alongside him. So Carlos is a massive yes.
I've changed the mic, Buzz.
All right.
I've turned it around the other way because it's doing me head in. It keeps as soon as I knock a wire, it's gone off. So
that's like my camera. That's why I knocked that off as well. As soon as you just touched the table, boom, camera gone.
So I have changed it around the other way.
Change it around.
Barneyman, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Really appreciate that, my friend. Afternoon, chaps. Any news on potential outgoings? If not, how many players do you think will leave before deadline day?
So we broke through that last night, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm hearing Matty Longstaff to Carlisle might be a go-ahead.
Carlisle, I heard Sunderland.
Well, yeah, we said Sunderland last night. I'm hearing Carlisle this morning, so that
could be a few in for him, to be fair.
Yeah, and is sort of Carlisle, Sunderland his level?
I think he's a little bit level above it, but we've not seen enough of him to really make that decision. I mean, he scored 2 goals against Man United, 1 winner at St James's Park, the opener at Old Trafford. He gets into the box. He does like to score a goal. He can shoot. I just don't know if he's got the vision and the game awareness to be a Premier League midfielder, but send him out on loan, toughen him up, see what he does. And if we want to keep him, offer him a contract. But his contract runs out, doesn't it? There's no offer on the table for him.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, with him, I'm going to do a video. It's coming out later on today about the Longstaffs and what kind of future they have. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Just talking about the Longstaffs and where they're going and where they're heading and what the future holds for them. So it should be interesting when I do that video. Big Scott says Aubameyang would rather a young striker or someone more in form. Yes, he's a big name, but a big name that doesn't want to prove anything.
Yeah, I mean, there was the rumours that Howe wanted a proven Premier League goal scorer. They ended up with Chris Wood, and he wanted a young guy to come in as well with potential, and that was the Ekiteke links, wasn't it? But they seem to have quietened down. There's obviously more links with other players coming in now, so we're just going to have Zapata. Who else was there? There was another one we mentioned last night. There was a few.
There was Player. Ericsson.
Ericsson's midfielder. So there's a few strikers that we mentioned last night. If it was free with Balotelli links because he's got a really small release clause, but I wouldn't want Balotelli.
No, not a chance in hell do I want Balotelli. No. Thomas, I don't know is the answer. I still haven't done another test. I will be doing one this afternoon.
I've got to do one as well. My neighbour's got it.
Yeah. Well, my mother's got it, and she currently lives with us because she has an illness. So she currently lives with us, and she has COVID. So... yeah. John Joe, thanks for the $8.99 super chat, mate. He goes on to say, who do you think we should get in midfield? Well, I mean, looking at the midfielders we link with, Baz, I mean, I would absolutely love Ericsson. I think Ericsson for me would be an incredible signing.
I completely agree with you. And we mentioned this a lot last night, and we had a little bit of pushback from Billy saying that, he won't be up to speed and all this sort of stuff. But, if he can play 20 minutes, 30 minutes of a few games, he could change those games quite easily.
Yeah.
And the rumours are his agent has flown into England today, and he will be speaking to Newcastle, Palace and Brentford. So you've got to think out of those clubs. If he wants a challenge, Newcastle's the best, club to go to.
It's the challenge is staying up, but it's also the future challenge that lies ahead. Exactly. Of what we can actually do when we do survive. And I'm sure Ericsson would love to be part of that.
I mean, Palace is quite attractive to him because obviously they're in London and Vieira's there and they do play good football. So there would be a little bit of attract. That's why. Who turned it down to go to Palace again?
Aaron Ramsey, possibly.
Yeah, Aaron Ramsey, possibly. So again, I mean, it all depends on how that works out as well. Yeah. But Ericsson for me would be the marquee signing for me, and it won't cost them anything other than a contract.
Yeah, I think he's somebody that I would love to see in the midfield. And again, very, very good passer of the ball, very creative, very good at set pieces, and blah blah. Trolls, thank you for the 50 krona super chat, matey. Very appreciated. Liam says Sky Sports tweeted could be in for Hazard. We spoke about this last night.
Yesterday.
Nah, not for me. Not for me.
No.
Luke Nicholson says Maximan needs to learn that football is a team sport. Lawrence, good afternoon to you. Lingard to play alongside Shelvey and Hayden and Joe Linton if he signs. I think you play in front of those guys, to be honest.
Of course he will. He'll be further up.
Yeah, exactly. Steph, good afternoon. I love Lingard. I think he would fit right in with the team on a personal level too. He seems to like a bit of character. He has a good vibe, and I think he's a reliable player. He's come on for Man United a few times this season, Baz, and seemed to have done quite well.
He scored against us, didn't he?
He did. But then lately, he seems to have been just left out altogether and not getting any play time. So maybe... Because at the start of the window, Lingard did turn around and say he wanted to stay at Manchester United. But to counter that, we also said that things changed very dramatically during the transfer window, and quotes that managers or players make at the start of the window isn't necessarily how they feel or quote at the end of the window. So maybe Lingard's having a think and saying, right, it's a World Cup year. I have an opportunity to go to Newcastle and get a lot of first-team football and be one of the main players, which he would be undoubtedly, and he can try and force his way back into the international scene.
Yeah, he'd be crazy not to. I mean, if there's other teams in the offering as well, he'd be crazy not to talk to them. Because at the end of the day, he's made 4 substitute appearances, maybe 5. We've not seen him since before Christmas in a Man United shirt.
Yeah.
And he's just wasted on the bench, to be fair. And I never thought I'd say that, because when I saw him for England in the World Cup a while ago, he scored against that nobody team when we beat them 8-1 or something like that. But other than that, he was pretty poor. But when he played for West Ham last season, he made their season, really, didn't he?
Yeah.
So if we can get that Lingard, we stay up.
Good point from Abigail there. Lingard's an upgrade on Almiron for sure.
He is, yeah, definitely.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Lingard would be a great signing for me, even if it's just a loan. Nike Superdry, interesting name. I seen somewhere that the SM is unhappy with the lack of goals and winning, so he feels the need to try himself.
That's a bit reworded, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said in his interview that he scored a goal. He tries his hardest to win a football match, but obviously 1 goal wasn't enough, so he needs to try and contribute more goals, is what he said. He wants to score more. But then again, if he's saying that, I mean, he's going to hold on to the ball a hell of a lot more than he already does. So.
Toon Down Under says Sevilla chairman is known for holding out in transfer windows. Yes, he can from time to time without a shadow of a doubt. Keith, thank you very much for the super chat, matey of $8.99. Lingard all day. It's nice to see that a player that we link with seems to have the backing of everybody at the minute.
Yeah, it does, which makes a change. We normally have 50-50 resistance, don't we, and positivity of it. But I think everyone would be stupid not to want Lingard. To be honest with you, it's a no-brainer.
Maggots has got to get rid of Almiron, Longstaff, and Clark. The thing is, it's all right saying we've got to get rid of them. There's no interest in them. I mean, there was rumour that Sevilla wanted a sort of exchange plus money deal with us for Diego Carlos, but that seems to have gone quiet as well. I mean, it could turn out that Newcastle announced that a deal's been struck for Carlos with Almiron going the other way. It might be all done under wraps, but normally the sort of Spanish side would get an indication of any players coming in, wouldn't they? And they've been very, very quiet on that.
They would, and the one thing that the club doesn't want to do is be stuck in a negotiation where there's a player going one way and a player going the other way, because that slows it down as well. Yeah. Because Almiron's got to agree personal terms. He's got to want to leave. We don't know where his head's at. So if it's easily done, then yes, all for it. Almiron will probably flourish in the Spanish league with the style of football they play, and we get our man. So let's see what happens.
Jake being a Leeds fan there saying Carlos too full of errors. Best stick to Lascelles then. Yeah, he wants the weakest possible back.
Of course he does.
Saturday, that's the thing.
Oh, you got a bit funny again, pal. Quiet again. You've knocked the wire.
I know. I've hit the wire again. 2 seconds.
Yep. You're fine now.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yay.
It keeps, honestly, I think it's the connection to the microphone. I need a new one. It's a iffy. Barry says, how's your back? It's not too bad. It's surviving, shall we say.
Barry was brilliant last night. Just very quickly, he put a comment on YouTube on the show last night. Yeah, we've got to give Wood a chance. Blah 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 blah. And then the next one was, yeah, Billy's right. Wood shit.
Yeah, I know.
Arm twisted.
Yeah. Brian says, afternoon, guys. I've just heard regarding Carlos Sevilla will allow him to go, but first he has to play against Valencia tonight, and he's reluctantly agreed to it. I don't
like that.
Oh, no,
I don't like that. If he gets injured, I'll be foaming.
Yeah. Jake says, baffling how some people turn their noses up at de facto Champions League quality players.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex says, Sevilla still have the best best defensive record in La Liga. With only 13 goals conceded, they are second in the league, chasing Madrid. Can't be that many mistakes.
Yeah,
exactly. Matthew says he'd take Lingard.
Yeah.
I've heard Harry Winks from Tottenham. No. Eddie Howe doesn't want him. Eddie Howe's come out and said, he's not a player he's interested in. Yeah, Chris says, do other teams want our players? Well, there's a question.
Not anymore. Everton wanted Longstaff, but now Rafa's gone, so that's dead.
Yeah, that's dead in the water.
Plus, he's getting a 2-year contract, isn't he, after last night? So Dummett and Sean Longstaff are going to be offered 2-year deals.
Well, that's the rumor. I'd be staggered, absolutely staggered, if that's the case.
Not the way Howe came out and spoke about Longstaff, and he says he's got a future at the club. So it wouldn't surprise me. Again, you need a squad, and at the moment, we don't have much of a squad, do we? So,
Maggot says Matty is better than his lanky powder puff brother. Lawrence says Matty is probably championship level, but it does worry me that he didn't get many games for Aberdeen. Exactly. Sorry, Baz, but how does Sky and BT not know the position you're in? Where do you think they've been for 6 months? On the moon?
They have been on the moon. They've been literally bashing the crap out of us for the last God knows how long, ever since the takeover happened. That's all I was saying, is that they don't understand us as fans what kind of position we're in. We know our players better than what Sky do because we watch them week in, week out. They don't like the Northeast. They never have. And there's only 2 commentators, I want to say commentators, reporters on there who do. We all know them well. So, we want these players out as quickly as possible. And we are happy that these players are linked. Unlike the reports on Sky saying Newcastle are linked with Lingard. Fans are unhappy. Newcastle are linked with so-and-so. Fans are unhappy. We're not. We're fucking ecstatic that we're actually active in a window. So
exactly. Barry Lang, thank you for the £5 super chat, mate. He says, hi, Paul and Baz. Tell me how Aubameyang can be in for a possible medical when he's still with Gabon in the AFCON. He's not.
He's not.
He's been sent home, mate. He's no longer with Gabon. He's back in the UK. So that's how we can actually sign him. Liam says Carlisle would be a good move. Maybe he can keep them up in League 2. Paul and Baz, come and get Jemba out of retirement. A lot of Premier League teams are looking at our players and pissing themselves. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah. Who's next on the list?
So we have the Netherlands under-21 left back, and I'll probably not pronounce his name. Probably will give it a go. Michel Bakker.
Michel Bakker.
As a Michel Bakker.
Yes.
It's spelled Mitchell.
Well, yeah, for you it is. Yeah.
For dyslexic, it's Mitchell.
Stop making excuses. He played for PSG.
He went to the German club, didn't he?
Yeah, he played for Paris Saint-Germain and then he moved to Leverkusen in the summer. That's the only thing that puts a downer on this for me is the fact that he only moved there in the summer. So I can't see Leverkusen actually selling him. He's a very, very good player, very talented, but I don't think... I mean, it would be crazy to think that if Leverkusen bought him in the summer, why would they then sell him in the January window? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but I would guess if they need money, they're going to make a profit on him very quickly because we're going to obviously offer them more than what they paid for him. So it depends on that situation on the financial side. We need a left back, so I would obviously welcome it. But it's just came out of the blue this morning, hasn't it? So it's one that we need to let settle and wait until we hear some proper information
let it
about
take its course, as they say. But you can buy all the players in the world, mate, but us mighty Leeds will still be winning.
There's a very good chance you're going to beat us on Saturday. We're in no delusions. If we don't get 2 players in, we're going to be in trouble. You guys were fantastic against West Ham. I really enjoyed the game, but you were very weak at the back as well. And your old man is returning to your stomping ground. He's taller than all of your centre-backs, and you cannot defend a corner to save your life. Yeah. So watch out.
I'm not convinced.
Could be a 4-4. Could be a 4-4, I'm telling you.
Lawrence says, I also have COVID, Paul, so if you test positive, it's probably from me on Saturday. Well, cheers, Lawrence. Thanks, mate.
That's the risk we all take going to games now.
Of course it is. Don't need you to do a video on the long staffs to tell what we know they're not good enough. I'm just discussing where the future holds for them. That's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Jake says, I think your club has seen enough madness over the years. Don't need more with Balotelli. Christ, no.
No, we don't. But again, would he keep us up? Would he score enough goals? I mean, I never saw it when he went to Liverpool. He looked shocking, didn't he? But when he was at Man City,
Balotelli was as bad as Riviere last time he was in the Premier League, so no chance would I take him.
No, that's what I mean. He was for Liverpool, but he wasn't for Man City, was he? So it depends on what Balotelli turns up.
Yeah, that's a huge risk, though.
Dummett's not being offered a 5-year contract. That'll take him to like 36, wouldn't it, or something?
Where, who said that?
There was a comment two comments ago.
He hasn't.
2 years.
Definitely.
2 years he's been offered.
Yeah.
And he deserves those 2 years, especially after that performance on Saturday.
Yeah. John Joe says, I don't think Eriksen is up for a dogfight. He doesn't seem to be that kind of player. Well, you don't know. You don't know
that. But he's quality, though. This is the difference. Yes, we're in a dogfight in our position, but if we can buy quality players and play better football, we're going to walk through these teams rather than struggling to hold on to a 1-0 lead. Eriksen is a gem. He really is, and I've always loved watching him play football. So get him in.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher also turned us down in the summer, didn't he? Because to go to Palace on loan.
Yeah.
Adam says no one wants to play up here. Like Wilson says, it's too cold. I'm not having that.
But Wilson wants to play up here.
Yeah. What about possibly offering Diego Costa a short-term deal? He's going to
some other club in like that.
Brazil.
Flamies. Yeah. But again, we would have him though, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Oh, aye. Darren believes that Eriksen's gone to Brentford. He hasn't.
No, these agents just flown over today to discuss a move to either Newcastle, Brentford, or Palace. So that'll be decided. That could be one of the medicals tomorrow, potentially, once the agents discussed and heard what's on the table, goes back to Eriksen. He flies in tomorrow, does his medical, scores the winner against Leeds. Bob's your uncle.
Exactly. Abigail also says, if you get players like Eriksen, you don't need to fight. You simply play other teams off the park and pick up the 3 points.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah. So if we get the best players in, it's not going to be scrappy affairs, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
If 2 medicals are booked for tomorrow, would the player not be here now or tonight?
No, I can fly in tomorrow and do the medical.
Yeah, fly in first thing in the morning. We don't
know what time the medical's booked, do we?
Exactly.
Could be 12:30 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the afternoon. As long as the medical's done and the player's signed on the dotted line, we're good.
Well, this is a point that obviously Billy was making last night regarding Eriksen. Baz, how long would it take Eriksen to get up to match fitness?
Yeah, it would take a little while, but like I said, if he comes on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes and say 3-4 games, he could turn one of those games from a draw to a win or from a losing position into a draw. He will be worth his weight in gold. I promise you that. Especially when games get opened up. He would be, if we had him before the Leeds game, can you imagine the amount of space he'll find in their back four? You'd tear them apart.
That's what I mean. Tear teams apart from instead of this battle and shit all the time. Jake says, don't get some players. Why not a half season on loan? Get certified first team football. Get back in the spotlight. If you survive, then get to be part of a starting 11 for a mega rich club. It's a win-win.
Yeah. Exactly, Jake.
Which is obviously what we spoke about Donny van de Beek when he said he didn't want to come to Newcastle because of the position we were in. Crazy. If it's for a 6-month loan and we go down, he goes back to United, no questions asked.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we stay up, opportunity to be part of a rising club, a phoenix from the flames, if you like, rise from the ashes. I don't know how many more cliches I can get in here, but I'm trying. You know what it is? But it's that type of thing. And this is where we're going to sort of see players' mentalities. And certainly I'm disappointed with Van de Beek, to be honest, because I thought he would have a better attitude than just to sit on his arse at Man United.
Yeah, me too. I'm absolutely devastated because we all said before the window opened and while the takeover was in process, we identified players from other teams in the Premier League that we would like, and he was one of the ones top of the list along with Lingard. So it is a big gutting. But again, we can only have one of them. At the moment, would you take Lingard or Van de Beek? There's a good question for you guys in the chat as well. Who would you rather take, Van de Beek or Lingard in the situation we're in?
Do you know what I'd say, Lingard, Baz?
I probably would as well because we need goals.
Yeah, plus the way he's played more minutes than Van de Beek this season. I know it's not a lot more, but he has.
Yeah.
And he's used to the Premier League. He's proven. So he'd give us more hope after.
There's a few coming in already. Lingard every day. Lingard.
There you go. ASM, the only player at the minute who can put the ball in the back of the net at the minute.
Yeah, but he's only firing in 5-10 minutes of a 90-minute game. He needs to learn. Do you know what it is? Drop him, bring him on for the last 30 minutes. But not against Leeds. I'll play him against Leeds for the 90 minutes because their back line is terrible, and he will have them terrified running at them. So, but against other teams where it's tight, I'd rather have him as an impact sub.
Do you think some players are using us as a way to get a pay rise from their other clubs?
Yep, definitely. There is that there, and it's always the agents as well using our club as Newcastle are interested in our player, so why don't other teams come in and get them even though we're not interested in them? They're using us as a bargaining chip.
Yeah. Should we bid for Bruno Fernandes? He seems unhappy at Man United and he seems to be a good player, but doubts over his attitude. I hate that bloke. I cannot stand Bruno Fernandes. He's a whinge, he's a wimp, he's everything. And I just,
Fernandes.
Not for me.
Definitely not for me. He doesn't turn up in big games either.
Exactly.
He's like a Lukaku.
Is Bayer Leverkusen top Paul's wearing? It is indeed. Eddie House
looks very red though, Paul.
Sorry?
Very naughty. It looks very red. It's very naughty.
Yes, but
you can't see the badge. It looks like a Man United top, mate.
Yeah, but you can see the badge there, Buzz.
I can't now.
Clearly states Bayer Leverkusen. Carlisle would be a good move for Matty, says Warren.
Yeah,
Lawrence says actually did put an untradeable card of Carlos into the Valencia versus Sevilla SBC, whatever that means. I have no idea. Anyone else going to watch Sevilla next match to see him play? Well, it's tonight if he's in there. I think Newcastle agreeing to that, though. If there's a deal there, I think that's madness.
Suppose if it gets it done before the weekend, then I guess we're held to ransom, aren't we? And we're just going to have to say yes. If that gets it over the line, I guess we're just going to have to face. I don't like it, but we're just going to have to accept it. He's still their player at the end of the day. So
very true. Steve says, "Afternoon, chaps. Anything on Dele Alli?"
It's quiet again, isn't it? I mean, there's a player that's popped up, disappeared, popped up, disappeared. Does Howe rate him and like him? Then again, who would you rather have, Lingard or Ali? Because they're the same type of player, aren't they?
I mean, look, Lingard for me all day long. All day long. Chris, good afternoon. People need to lay off the owners. I bet they would love to just pay over the odds, but they need to let other teams know they won't be taken for mugs. Yeah, we've said that from the start, really. They've got to put the foot down sometime. Barry says, Carlos is quality. Winksy, no way. We call him Wanksy at my second club, Spurs. Sean Longstaff needs to get his head around and get some confidence and not be afraid on the pitch. Then he can be good again. Dublin Magpie says, Donny turned us down because he is happy to sit in his arse. We should put some players on 0 hours contracts. They'd have the clubs in court before you could blink. Sevilla are asking £50 million for Diego Carlos, reports from Sky Sports News. If our owners are serious about staying up, we need to pay up now.
It's just come up. Richard, the Villa Richard, he's just said Sevilla received an offer for €30 million for Diego Carlos from Newcastle. He would be paid 3 times more than he would, but Sevilla have got no intention to get rid of him. For that price, buyout clause is €85 million. Newcastle will have to get close, at least double their offer, and that's Gail. How do you pronounce his name? The Spanish presenter.
Guillem Balaguer.
Yeah, that's from him. But I don't know if he's just talking shite.
Well, he's normally quite switched on to stuff. I like Guillem Balaguer. He's a good reporter. Listen, I didn't even realize he had a buyout clause.
All Spanish players apparently have a buyout clause, and I didn't know that till yesterday. So
yeah, most of them do. But look, I mean, do we just go and say, look, what's his buyout clause and pay the fucking thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get him in. You know, time is ticking. Shane says, well, it's Bakker is better than Dummett and Lewis. Yes, please. Yeah. Superfleece says, I became a Toon fan 2 months ago, but I'm already frustrated and disillusioned. Yeah, okay.
Welcome to the last 30 years.
Yeah. I have a feeling that isn't a Toon fan. Jamal Lewis, I hope he can step up. Really want him to succeed. Yeah. Ericsson would suit your club, says John. Well, I mean, look, he would suit any club, to be fair.
Any club.
And any club getting a player like Christian Eriksen in is very, very lucky to have them. But hey ho. Quick mention to the Toon Review sponsors, which is of course Geordie Riffs. I'll just take that comment off there. Geordie Riffs, contact Graham and Natalie for your professional guitar repairs and servicing. As a Toon Review subscriber, you will get 10% off your first setup or repair. And also they're offering your first guitar lesson completely free if you quote the Toon Review. They do have a website, which is linked below in the description, as well as having Facebook and Twitter pages as well. So go and check them out. Geordie Riffs, Northeast Company as well. Fantastic for all your guitar needs. Go and check them out on all 3 social media platforms. Some interesting comments coming in about Lingard, etc., saying yes, we take him.
Loads of people said it, haven't they?
Yeah, hi Paul Bars. Finally can watch your stream live. Difficult for me due to time difference in Southeast Asia. Very anxious with a slow transfer development. We'll go to Leeds inadequate.
Yeah, we're all worried about it, aren't we? But we can't control it, so we've just got to trust the owners. We've got to trust Eddie Howe will set us up to beat Leeds, because we can't beat Leeds. Don't get me, Leeds aren't struggling with players. Remember, there was a chance this game could be called off if they get any COVID cases, because they're that thin bed in their squad. We could go there and cause an upset. I've got a little bit of confidence because I saw their back line against West Ham. West Ham were not on it. They weren't the normal West Ham. And if we can just raise our game to that Man United level, away to Leeds, and get crosses into the box, create chances, we can cause an upset there. We really could.
The problem is, I really don't think that Leeds will want the game called off, because they'll want to play Newcastle right now before we stretch any further.
Definitely.
So I think even if they've got to put a bench full of kids and just have a starting 11, then that'll do for them.
So just a bit of breaking news on Sky Sports. Apparently, they've must have been watching the show last night, Paul, because Newcastle are aiming to sign Duvan Zapata and Diego Carlos. So that they could be the 2 medicals booked in for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I think we can write off Aubameyang, Barry.
Yeah, I think so. I'm devastated.
Yeah, look, I mean, he was strongly linked yesterday. You were getting messages about him. I was getting messages about him, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And Foxy says, why do people keep mentioning Diego Costa? I know it's not happening. Not happening. I think Shelby could thrive with better players around him, says Adam. Definitely. Abigail says, Manchester is hardly the Costa del Sol, and many players seem to want to play there. Exactly. I mean, Manchester has similar weather to Newcastle. It's not very different at all, to be fair. In fact, it probably rains more in Manchester than it does up here. With Manchester being in the position it's in, just over the Pennines, etc., it is a very rainy place. Yeah. So Abigail's right there. There's, big names have gone to Manchester United and Manchester City and Liverpool. So, I think that's a load of bollocks, me. I really do.
And Bolton.
Bolton Wanderers, yeah, in the time they've had some big name players.
Sam Allardyce, JJ Okocha.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Anelka went there as well.
Anelka went there.
And then he went to Man City. He went everywhere.
Had some big players over the years.
Oh.
Stu says Luis Suarez is linked with the Villa move. Yes. Should we put a cheeky bid in? It doesn't matter. He's going there for one person only, and that's Steven Gerrard. It doesn't matter if we offered him anything. Ben Arthur has signed for Lille, apparently. Yes, he has.
I would have loved him back. Just for 6 months.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Big Mally, who is coming on the show tomorrow night for the preview. He's a Leeds fan. Afternoon, lads. Looking forward to the game on Saturday. May the best team win, as long as it's not a stupid VAR decision.
Yes, that would be nice. But normally you'll get the VR decisions because they don't like Newcastle, do they? So
Yeah, I mean,
Ben Arthur was wonderful.
Oh, Jason, that's terrible. Costa's going to Starbucks. Gary says, good afternoon, Paul and Baz. I sent a message last night, but with missing words, saying how many players can NUFC go for or buy this season before the FFP rules come to play? Will they cope with our old players? Listen, we can spend a fortune, to be honest. We
don't know the exact figure, but it's 3 years back and 3 years in front, isn't it? So it depends on sponsorship deals. If you get a big sponsorship deal, the FFP goes bigger. So it's a lot of money. It's like 500 million or something stupid like that.
It is, yeah. But I don't think we're going to spend that anyway, to be honest. But I think there'll be a couple of loan deals in the door as well. Liam says Ericsson more likely to go to Brentford though, because he's worked with the manager before. Yes, but it's how we sell the club to Christian Eriksen.
But would Christian Eriksen want to stay at Brentford past 6 months, though? I mean, are they going to stay in the Premier League the following season? Or are they going to do a Sheffield United?
And there's no guarantee their manager's going to stay there. You know what I mean? If he keeps Brentford up this season, he may be in high demand across Europe, especially back in Germany. So we have to take that into consideration as well. Michael says, R.I.P. Chris Argris. Yes, indeed. Terrible news about him passing away at the weekend. And our thoughts and love go out to his family and friends. Absolutely 100%. Terrible news. Maybe Dembele is the surprise signing tomorrow, says Trolls.
There's a chance. I mean, he's a name that's linked but gone quiet again. A lot of people, again, there's a lot of pushback on Dembele with fans, isn't there, because of his injury record. But, he's better than what we've got. And if he can stay fit for half of the second part of the season, he'll score enough goals to keep us up. So,
yeah. Ginger says Lingard gives us so much fight and forward movement. Improve for Jesse. It's a win-win. He shows what he can do with this load of shit. He's way better than what we've got, Ginger, to be honest, isn't he? I mean, if we look at the standard that we've got, and we talked about it earlier, Baz, there's no creativity there. There's very little creativity that we have at the minute. We're relying a lot on John Joe, but there's no movement. But I think that's if Jesse Lingard came and played in a number sort of 10 position, he'd be able to open gaps up. There's no doubt about that, which would then help John Joe.
He'd be clever enough to run off Wood as well, wouldn't he? So if you are going to have Wood as that static forward and win the flick-ons and knockdowns, Jesse Lingard would be clever enough to be 5 yards away from him constantly, breaking from that midfield, and you'll get into positions to score goals, and we know he can.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Loads of people saying definitely Lingard. Foxy says you take Lingard, of course, he is Premier League proven. Donny would need time.
Yeah.
Maggot says neither. I don't think she's a fan of Man United, to be honest. Apparently, Wolves are chasing Lingard as well.
Be a good move for him as well. I suppose Wolves are in a better position than us, so we'll wait and see.
Nathan would have Van der Beek. We need players who can control the game. But listen, he doesn't want to go, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex said, I'd have taken Van der Beek for the midfield option, but it's only because we have wingers. Definitely. Has the Facebook Live link gone down? It kicked me off. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't had anything coming through. If it has, then it's Facebook's end, not mine. But here ho. Abigail says, did someone say Van der Beek with a lot of sicky signs?
Really? I mean, it's just because he plays for Man United doesn't make him a bad player, guys. Put rivalries aside.
It's very hard to do that, though, Baz.
I know it is.
Burning the midnight oil here in Auckland, New Zealand. Great show, as per, lads. Reality is we haven't replaced Kabai, and I dare say it, a player with the profile of Sissoko. J7 is kind of doing that role now. J7 is definitely doing the Sissoko role, but we ain't replaced Kabai ever. God, I loved him. I really did. Absolute
Kabai was just
midfielder.
fantastic.
He was brilliant. But unfortunately, we ain't ever replaced him. No. Gia Ellison, thanks for becoming a new member of the Toon Review. Welcome to the family, my friend. Stu says, yes, R.I.P. Chris, another member of our Toon family gone far too soon.
Yeah,
indeed, it will second that. These players not coming, Hazard, Van der Beek, just shows these players do not back themselves. If they're as good as they are supposedly meant to be, then our position will improve if they played for us. That's a good point, actually. You know, are they thinking, oh, I'm not going to Newcastle because the spotlight will be on me to change their fortunes, and they don't rate themselves to do that?
Or they just don't want to fail, and if they do fail, it looks bad, doesn't it? I suppose. I don't know.
Most goals, most assists are Saint, but Lingard would let him be free because Lingard as a 10 means we need to go 4-2-3-1 like West Ham did with him. They did. They went 4-2-3-1. And it changed.
That would work well for us as well, wouldn't it? That formation. If you think about the players we've got as well.
Saying. I think if we go to a 4-2-3-1, which is what I mean, how long have we been crying out for that formation at Newcastle and saying we have the perfect players at the club at the moment to do a 4-2-3-1 and be successful at it? But for some reason,
Shelvey, Joe Linton is the 2, Fraser, St. Maximum, Lingard, and then Wood. That would work well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Chris says Bruno Fernandes is constantly whinging. No thanks.
Yeah, definitely not. We wouldn't even go for him anyway. I mean, it's a
left side defender who talks us back. Ericsson wanted big play and leave Spurs. Was his agent greedy? I don't think it's anything to do with that. He was doing well at Inter Milan. He was very, very highly thought of in Inter. It's just obviously with what happened in the Euros, the Italian league does not allow players to play with these devices fitted. However, most places in Europe do. So the Premier League is an option for him. We know certainly that Eredivisie in Holland, they do because what's his face has got one who played for Man United. What's his name?
His name was mentioned last night and I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. It's totally gone out of my head.
Blind.
Daily Blind. Yeah, he's got one fitted. Jade says 1 p.m. Baz, where's our signings?
Still time. Come on,
She's on
Jade.
you. She's on you. You don't drop your second top goal scorer, especially without Wilson. That's just stupid. Well, no.
He's only scored 4 or 5. It's not stupid.
It's not exactly.
It's the 90 minutes that you've got to think about as well. If he's not contributing to the other, going back, if he's not contributing to the rest of the team and he's just scoring a goal and then not contributing anything else, you've got to consider dropping him and using him as an impact sub instead. We've got to be tight against teams at times, and we're just not that.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is because he's so much better.
Yeah. Listen, he still might be. He still might be.
Exactly.
Let's just see how he goes.
We might give him the kick up the arse if you drop him to the bench and say, right, you're coming on for 30
minutes. I think that's what he needs, Barry. I genuinely think that's what he needs. He needs a kick up the arse like that and say, look, you're not the be-all and end-all.
Yeah.
Sit on your arse. Watch how the other guys perform. Watch the team, how they work as a team. This is what we need you to be. And then maybe that'll just say, right, I'll get back on the pitch and I'll prove you all wrong and make him go in a little bit of huff, but not the huff that goes the wrong way. The huff that he gets back on the pitch and does the business.
Exactly. We've got one more player we haven't talked when you're ready.
Yeah, go on.
God, I can't pronounce his name now, haven't I?
Zapata.
Schlotterbeck.
No. Or Schlotterbeck.
Yeah.
Schlotterbeck.
So basically, when the Carlos deal is done, we're going back in for Schlotterbeck and Botman. So obviously, we're hedging our bets of which one we get. I would prefer Botman, if I'm completely honest with you. I think everyone would agree with that. But another centre-back is a huge priority once this Carlos deal is signed and done and dusted.
He's an interesting one, but he comes with, a good CV. He's apparently a very, very good player. Somebody that is a lot better than what we've got, and that's what we have to look at. You know, these players that we are going for have got to be better than what we've got already. And Schlotter, I'm going to call him Schlotterbum.
Schlotterbeck.
Just call him Schlotterman. Schlotterman, the new superhero that could be coming to Newcastle United.
Yeah.
I think he'll do wonders. I've seen him play a few times as well. Watch a lot of the German football, and I think he's a very, very, very talented player. So, time will tell. John Joe, thanks for the £4.49 super chat. We just made an approach for Lingard on Sky Sports News. If we get Zapata, do we play 2 up top?
Yes.
I think we have to. I think we have to. And I think we spoke about this last night as well, Baz, because if Newcastle bring in another striker, they're not going to sit Chris Wood on his ass because they paid 25 million quid for him. That makes no sense to pay that amount of money for a striker who you're going to think, right, yeah, we're going to keep him on the bench. I think Chris Wood plays better with 2 up top anyway. I spoke last night on your show, I think, about how he plays well with Barnes, Ashley Barnes at Burnley. Barnes did the nitty-gritty work, and he was there as the link-up player. And I think he could do that with either Wilson or an other. But they're not going to sit Chris Wood on his arse. I said last night that I'm yet to be convinced over Chris Wood. I'll stick by that. I hope he bangs in a hat-trick against Leeds. Time will tell on it. But, I know a lot of people are feeling like it was a panic buy and just to get a forward in. But it's a lot of money to spend on a panic buy, and I can't see him being left out of the side. I just can't.
I mean, again, if he's going to play 2 up top, then yeah. But if he's going to play 1 up top, then Wood drop to the bench for Zapata. It's as simple as that. And then he might be used as an impact sub again. So, but Eddie Howe does like a 2 up top formation, doesn't he? And he could go 3-4-3 potentially, or 3-5-2.
Yeah. Oh, don't say 3-5-2. I don't want 3 at the back. No. Toon Down Under says we're going to be so annoyed if Carlos plays tonight and gets injured. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But again, he's their player. We don't have any control over it. And like I said, if this gets us the agreement to get him through the door, let's just hope he puts in a decent performance and doesn't pick up any knocks or anything like that.
Yeah. Yes, it says, do you think the Premiership clubs have a pact not to sell anybody to us? We can't get anybody from the Premier League at the moment. I don't think it's that, but I do think they've got this sort of virtual handshake that will make life difficult for us without a shadow of a doubt. But they can't not sell to us, but they can make life difficult. But we just have to just look elsewhere if that's the case. If they're going to be, if they're going to be,
seems to be doing. There's not many Premier League players we're linked with now. Like Lingard is one of them. But if you look at all the other names, they're all around Europe. And it's obviously, that's the way we're going to have to go about it if they're going to be dicks to it. So,
yeah. Shanio says, we'll get chances. We just need to put them away. Leeds are always there for the taking defensively.
Yeah, so breaking news is that Newcastle have made a full approach for Jesse Lingard. It's definitely happening.
It's happening. What number would he play, do you think?
What numbers are available? He can have whatever shirt he wants.
14's available, isn't it? Do we have a 14?
I don't think so. Janola's old number.
Yeah,
that'd be quite iconic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Connor says, is Newcastle still after Steffi Mavididi from Montpellier? I haven't heard that he's linked.
I've not heard that name. I'm just going through my messages to see if there's anything else popping up. And no, Lingard seems to be the one. So maybe it's Carlos and Lingard booked in for tomorrow. Now, that would be fantastic before the Leeds game.
Would it not?
That would give everyone a lift.
Oh, damn right.
And then we'll get beaten. Everyone will be down in the cold rooms again.
Stop it, Baz. Stop it.
Oh, no,
well, I know it was funny on the fan forum last night because we were, when I asked all the guests for the predictions and stuff like that, and, after the furious comments about the Watford game and that and how terrible we are, and then people still going for a Newcastle win. It just crazy how people's sort of opinion changes within a few days.
I told you, man, we're all bipolar Newcastle fans. We're either up or down.
We have a right to be bipolar. The shit that they put us through.
I know.
Matthew says been linked with player, but his goal record this season and last has been poor.
What's you talking about?
Player.
Oh, player. Sorry, I didn't see that bit there in the message. Yeah, but is he better than what we've got? Will he improve us? I think the answer is yes. Could be new surroundings, could really fire him into life. You just don't know. I'd take him all day long. Yeah. But again, it might not even happen. Like you say, this Zapata is definitely the one that I think we really want to push through.
Yeah, we seem to have more interest in him than the others, to be honest. Ginger says, I think Shelby is a parasite, to be honest. He's been here 5 years and just robbed 80k a week ever since the centre midfielder needed 2 ball-winning mids to cover Lingard, like West Ham had Rice and Souček.
I disagree with his comment on Shelby because he robbed a living for the last 2 years, but before that, he was a very good player. And now, since Howe's got a hold of him, he's really turned a corner. So you can't say over 5 years, he's been absolutely dross. I would say he's been dross for 2 years out of the 5. And remember, we got us out of the Championship, and he kept us in the Premier League with his ball playing ability. So he has got talent. He always has, but it's time to move on from him. Like this, we mentioned that quote, didn't we, about when we played Villa in 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've got 7 players still in our current team or squad playing for us where Villa have got none, and it just shows you we've never moved on.
John Joe, thanks for the £4.49 super chat, matey, and another one for £4.49, 2 in a row there. Thank you very much. I hear today Diego Carlos is playing to say his farewell to the Sevilla fans.
Do you know what the best thing that could happen to us is he goes on the pitch, waves goodbye, and then walks off.
Yeah, I walks on the first 11. See you, folks. I'm away. Nice to know you.
Yeah. Throw his shirt in the crowd, get himself sent off for something. Right, I'm off.
Michael says, I've got a feeling there's going to be a transfer that no one, bar Baz, knows of until a fee is agreed and shown on Sky. Daniil, good afternoon. What are your thoughts on the Lingard rumours? Very happy.
We're very happy.
Very, very happy. Alex says, Xavi has been making noise about Dembele today regarding contracts and playing. Spanish media think it's increasingly likely that he's leaving in January.
We need as many players as
why
we
don't
can
we
get.
just book a whole... Well, I'll tell you what, Baz, right? The easiest thing for us to do as a club, right, is to just book a whole hospital, right?
Yeah.
Book the Nuffield, right? All of it. Cancel anything that's happening there tomorrow just for medicals for Newcastle United. Because it sounds like it could be an extremely busy Wednesday and Thursday for Newcastle.
It's going to be Wednesday today, yeah. So it's going to be extremely busy up until the end of the window, really. It's not the be-all, end-all that we don't get these players in before the Leeds game. It'll be nice if we did, but we've still got up until the 31st of January to sign the players we need.
Yeah.
So there's still time.
And if Newcastle do go away next week, it's still going to be very, very busy at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they do go to Saudi, the Saudis will always, if we do sign a big name,
they want to see them, don't they?
Presentation in bloody Saudi then, and
exactly,
to gain even more traction. Frankie Norton, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Great show as always, guys. Thank you very much. Barry says, I'm surprised Lingard doesn't play regularly for Man United.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are at the moment, the way they're playing.
They prefer to go with quite a defensive lineup, don't they? Matthew says Zapata would be such a good signing. Liam says Wolves are fighting for Europe like Man United are. Doesn't matter. It's how you sell the club, how you sell it. What happened with Senesi as left back? Never heard of him.
Never really on the cards, that one. I heard his name mentioned once, and that was about it.
Never actually heard of them, to be honest, but
yeah.
Ryan says, what's the crack with the 2 medicals? It's a joke or not? Can't see out online. Patience, Ryan. Patience.
Just made an approach for Lingard, an official approach. So that means the medical could be for Lingard. We still think it's also for Carlos. They're the 2 names that we think, again, it's a guess because we don't know for 100%, but that's what it's looking like now. We definitely think it's Carlos tomorrow. And then now Lingard's looking like the front runner for the second one.
It's safe to say that Brian does not want Aubameyang. I've got a good idea. Why don't we look to sign a player who has been stripped of the captaincy of this club, sent away early to play for his country, then sent back because he has COVID? Can't wait. We get the message, Brian. You don't like him very much. Whoever we would bring in will have at least a week in Saudi to get fit. Thanks for the international break. Could be our saviour.
Yes, definitely.
Well, for once, I don't mind it being right in the middle of the transfer window, to be honest. Newcastle never replaced Philip Albert, let alone any other player.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Philip Albert, look at Woodgate.
Yeah, there's been some decent ones, but look at that. Cabaye and Tiote, what a middle pair they were.
Yes, they were. They allowed us to play a 4-4-2 formation because the ground they covered, the work rate. Cabaye could tackle and be a playmaker at the same time and score goals. 4.5 million we paid for him. What an absolute steal that was.
Without a doubt. Big Mally says, do you lads think today's the cut-off point for match-ready players pre-Leeds? Look, I think if we make signings tomorrow, I think they'll be in the team. I really do. I think they'll play against Leeds because Eddie Howe knows how bad we are and the fact that, look, Chris Wood hadn't hardly played and he threw him straight in the 11. You've got to remember that these players that we are bringing in are better than what we already have. Therefore, why are you going to keep your better players on out of the side? You know, even if you get 60 minutes out of them, you start them.
Exactly.
So we don't take risks that way. Raiden says that Kabay winner at Old Trafford. God, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Equaliser against Liverpool at Anfield.
Yes.
That was a great volley.
There's been some crackers.
The free kick against Man United at St James's Park.
Yeah.
In off the bar, 3-0 win.
Mm-hmm. Graham says we need to forget these players from abroad for now and try and get players on loan from the Premier League clubs if they are available.
We mentioned about the Premier League players and clubs being hard to negotiate with, and that's why we're looking abroad, because, like I said, they don't want to sell players to us. We wanted Cantwell from Norwich, and Norwich are refusing to sell him to Newcastle. So, you know, it's difficult.
Yep. I've come across this channel through my cousin Graham at Geordie Riffs, our sponsors, by the way. Just wanted to say, keep up the good work. Really enjoyed the last few streams. Thank you very much, matey. Do also go and subscribe to World of Sport TV. This channel is in partnership with them. Some cracking shows on there. So please go and subscribe to World of Sport as well. Along with this channel, we are the two best Newcastle United YouTube channels. Aren't we, Baz?
Yes, we are.
I digress, but never mind.
Camera keeps on going out of focus, then back in again. Have you noticed that?
Who?
Your camera. You went really dark, and now you're like nice and bright again.
It's the sunshine.
I
can't do anything about it at the minute, because that's why I need to sort of get a proper studio room, because during the day, if the sun's shining out the back and it goes behind a cloud, it doesn't matter what I set my ISO on my camera, it just won't. I need to set the ISO like for good. That's why I keep going sort of light and dark, and it doesn't matter. I'm still
doesn't
here.
matter. Of course you will.
Carlos has had loads of yellow cards over the past 2 seasons and a couple of reds. No Premier League experience. The deal seems a bit risky and desperate, says Richard.
He's a centre-back. He's going to get yellow cards. He's going to get sent off every now and again. I mean, come on. Think about it. He's playing for Sevilla, who is second in... we've already mentioned this again, but we'll mention again. The second in the Liga. They're chasing Real Madrid. They've only conceded 13 goals this season so far.
Yeah.
You telling me he's a bad buy?
I'm not.
Well, exactly. Come on.
Guest of Gregory House says Wilson is overrated.
Whoa, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
He's injury prone. That's the only problem.
Very true. Baz and Paul, if you were in charge of the checkbook at Newcastle, what would be your dream 11?
Well, that's a whole different show, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we'd have to have a good hard think about that and see. You know, is that a realistic 11, or is it just an empty checkbook 11? Because that could take some time to get done, that without a shadow of a doubt.
Take a lot of arguments, that one, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oliver says, I bet Bazza believes Boris Johnson.
Yeah, I'm a Tory, mate. Can't tell where I live. Jesus.
Trippier could be the pull that Lingard needs. Nobody else scores goals in our team, so we won't score to win games. Well, we don't know if we get new players in, do we? Exactly. Will Eriksson be the same player after that incident? I'm very unsure about having him in the middle of the park during a dogfight.
But again, it won't be a dogfight if we've got quality players around them. We'll be playing the football while the other teams around us will be doing the dogfighting. Yes, our position's not great, but the likes of Eriksson coming in, if Lingard comes in as well, you know, we've got quality players. Carlos at centre-back. It becomes a different outlet, you know. We'll pick up points where we don't expect to pick up points. And we'll catch Watford easily if we buy these players, in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, that is it for the latest Daily News transfer show today. We will be back if there's any news. Now,
we only did this because we got a bit of news last night, didn't we? That's the only reason
if
why.
There's any news to bring you, then obviously we will go live, any new signings, things like that. There will be a video coming out from myself later on today regarding the Longstaffs, who's talking about their futures and stuff. Baz, anything coming up on World of Sport?
Yeah, got to get girls tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And if you love your golf, at 6:30 before it, Billy's pitch with my mate Chris, who plays off one, I think his handicap is, and he's going to be doing top tips through it as well. So if you want to learn how to bring your handicap down, you know, that's the channel to watch.
No idea.
I know you don't know anything about golf, but I will explain it to you one day.
That's very, very true. Right. Just a quick shout out again to the channel sponsors, Geordie Riffs. Before we go, professional guitar repairs and servicing. They are sponsors of the Toon Review. You will get 10% off your first setup or repair and your first guitar lesson free if you quote the Toon Review. Graham and Natalie, fantastic little business in the Northeast. So go there for all your guitar needs. The link to their website is down below in the description. They are also available on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. It's been a very, very good show. A lot of people having their opinions on different players coming to the club, which is exactly what we want to do. We want
a lot of people not doing their jobs as well.
Yes. But listen, I'd rather you watched me than did your job. So there you go. So thank you very much for everyone for taking part. Thank you so much to people that have donated to the channel today. Very, very kind of you. I will be back live again tomorrow night with Alex and hang on. I've got a new little poster for me, Alex and Danielle.
Ooh.
Check this out.
Come on. Hey.
So there you go. That's the three of us who will be tomorrow presenting the preview for the Leeds game. Of course, we'll be joined by Big Mally, the Leeds fan as well. He's coming on to discuss all things Leeds United. So we'll find out a lot more from him about where the club is at the moment and what he thinks the game will end up as. But thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out for my video coming out later on today, and we'll be back with any transfer news as soon as we get it. But thank you for watching, guys. Good afternoon, and take care.